If you don't fail, you can't get better. That's a philosophy that I believe in life, along with obviously storytelling and filmmaking. Now, all throughout my, I guess you could say, filmmaking career, specifically within Nunik Entertainment, I have failed numerous times. But through each failure, you learn so many new things that you wouldn't have otherwise. The steps you take to reach the next level are huge rather than, let's say, success after success. Each failure, you learn so much more. The experience is so much more valuable. My first ever short film was called The Prize, and I wanted to film it with all my friends. It was the first, I guess you could say, not really short film. I did little technical exercises. It was my first big one. I spent a month working on the script. It was 15 pages long. I got 10 of my friends, which is still the biggest cast I ever had, and I tried to film it over a summer. And that was, I guess you could say, a waste of a summer, because throughout the whole summer, we had 2 days of filming, and we never got the middle part done. There was a first act, a third act, no second act. And one day I just called whichever one of my friends could come, because after I had to rewrite people in and out as people were obviously busy with their lives during the summer. And we spent 20 minutes of daylight getting whatever footage I could get or think of to try and salvage the short film. Because in my mind, I was thinking, this is an amazing script, this is an amazing idea. I'm going to do this way, and this is going to be submitted to festivals, and I'm going to build a career off it. And now you can't even see it on YouTube. Why? Because it sucks. But I learned how to shot list. I learned how to shoot for the edit. I learned how to work around schedules, how to properly plan everything, realizing how long will each thing take. How much preparation do I have to do going into it? What do I need for a film to be able to make it work? Is this too many people? Do I need to shrink it down? Do I need it to be more lean to be able to move around and, improvise a lot better? Now, all of that worked significantly in my favor, because now from going forward, if you look at Holiday Blues, if you look at Detective Dante Revelations, if you look at Shocked, I planned those a lot better because I learned from my experience and my failures. Now, next up, you could say audio. Audio is something when you look at The Prize, man, it was horrible. You couldn't hear half the stuff that was being said. There was wind blowing into the mic.
Okay, what about the Italian place with the spaghetti and meatballs?
There wasn't any dead cats. Like right now I have a dead cat, so the audio is a lot better. But even then, when you look at Shocked, the audio in Shocked isn't that good either. There are parts where, especially where there was the two me's talking to each other, the microphone and the boom mic for some reason wasn't working properly. So I had to use the camera audio on my phone, which obviously wasn't that good, and there was the echo.
Without it. Plus, if you take responsibility for something you didn't even do, they're gonna bury all his crimes. Is that justice?
We need headphones plugged into the microphone, so at the same time someone can hear a live feed. Also, when you look at story, the story for The Prize was all over the place. I'd say even Shocked, it was originally a 15-page script that I condensed down to 2 pages. So obviously there was some stuff that was missing that when I realized going back at it, especially now looking at the finished project, it's kind of a little difficult for people to jump into, because I kind of had all this prior knowledge and I had the full timeline of the Detective Dante story. Now, all that being said, and focusing on story right now too, as you all know, I finished the Detective Dante feature film screenplay back in January. But guess what? Just as I finished that 90-page screenplay I've been working a year on, I think of a new idea as I'm driving home from work. And this idea, man, I'm telling you, is the best idea I've ever thought of. It clears anything else I've made. I think this is an amazing idea. It's so cool. It's so interesting. But now I was at a dilemma. I just spent so much time working on this thing, but now I have something else. So what I do, there was no other choice, because think of it this way. If I never spent all that time, all that effort working on the Detective Dante screenplay, I might have never gotten this new idea. And I could still take ideas from the Detective Dante screenplay, or I could just leave it there. It could just be right here. I can come back to it later. But this idea is even better. I think it's more interesting. I think it has more depth and more potential, along with the fact that it's easier to film on a smaller scale and scope, which honestly is what I'm kind of looking at right now, to be able to make the most with as little as I have. Honestly, I'm so excited for the rest of the year. I'm going to push for this brand new short film project and seeing if I can then turn it into a feature film, or either way, I can always go back to the Detective Dante feature film. I cannot wait for the rest of the year. I cannot wait to show you what I'm working on right now as I'm finishing up the rewrites on the new script. And man, as a wise man once said, as long as I'm alive, I have infinite chances.